Give everybody a chance to kind of come in real quick. I would just started the live right now. I'm gonna go ahead and play a little bit of Yada Yah 7, Psalms 121, sung in ancient Hebrew. We're gonna listen to a little bit of that while we're waiting for some people to come in right now. Give the family a chance to come in, and we're gonna have a good discussion. Living in wonderful times right now. Something real fast. What up with it, family? Thank you, Ancient Gardener. Shalom, shalom. Good seeing everyone. Good seeing you, Sister Cassandra. Good seeing you. Thank you, David Braxton. Thank you for showing up. Thank you, family. Good seeing everyone in the chat. Good seeing everyone already. So many people already here. All praises. Definitely happy unleavened bread as well. Definitely. It's beautiful to have our eyes open at such a time as this, to be able to see the things that we see, to understand the things that we understand. Definitely all praises to the Most High. It's a beautiful thing right now. And we're so blessed to be able to see. And we can see what the other people can't see. It's just even more amazing at times. it's just on this weekend, I'm looking at all these people who are just, running around just like zombies, not just doing what they always do for their Easter holidays and everything else, and no real depth as far as thinking, how do you get 3 days and 3 nights from Friday to Sunday morning, just a whole, like, just a few days ago, the Pope was admitting the fact that the doctrine of discovery was wrong, which should pretty much, take all of those people out of leadership. But people just don't even care, and they just, he's doing his masses. Last night I saw the beautiful, cathedral and everything else, and all these people are listening and watching, and today he's doing another mass. He'll do his Easter mass. It's amazing how your organization, your church, can be set up on nothing but lies and death and destruction and rape and robbery and murder, but no one holds you to account. And not only do they not hold you to an account, they elevate you to the status of a god, and they put their faith in you to lead them to heaven. A lot of the Christians want to act as if they're not part of that, but they're just no different whatsoever. It just made, and it's just amazing to watch how the Most High is leaving signs that we are at the end. And I was watching Brother Abdullah Sear's video that he just put up maybe an hour ago. I just listened to the first part of it, talking about the masters, and the three trees that had fallen. Hey, great seeing you, Sister Pat. Great seeing you. How the 3 trees fell and the significance of that. And, we know that, I used to play golf all the time. I used to do a lot of things that I don't do anymore as much as I used to, or whatever else. When Tiger Woods came out, I used to play golf. I had my clubs. I'd be out there practicing and playing. I'd be watching the Masters faithfully because I love, it's a beautiful golf course. This and that. And I would be watching and everything else. But what Brother Abdullah here was talking about, he was reading an article talking about the history of that land, and we know they never changed the name of the tournament, the Masters. Those kinds of thoughts that brings to us. We think of, the first thing I think of is the slave master, and they love it. They love pushing their history. They, as much as they want to act like we're the assholes for bringing up their history, they love still pushing their history. And they just don't like the fact that we're giving alternative explanations to their history. They don't like it when we tell them they got to have to pay for what was done to us. They still haven't thought about changing the names of that tournament. They still haven't thought about how that might make a certain people feel. They're like, I don't give a hell. I don't give a rat's ass how you feel about it. We're going to keep the name because that's our tradition. They got all these traditions, and all their traditions are pretty much for them. Their traditions are for them to feel good about what they've done. And, I tell them all the time, there's no reason for, hey, enjoy your traditions. That's Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 2. This was your blessing. Why you can't admit that was your blessing is the problem. See, now that we're telling you that, yeah, you had a blessing, but it comes with an expiration date, that's where you have a problem. You see what I'm saying? That's where now you're having a problem, because you thought your blessing was going to go on forever. Now the Most High has raised up his people, and we're telling you that no. Your you had your blessing. I hope you enjoyed it. It comes with an expiration date. It comes, and we're at that expiration date now. And what Brother Abdullah Sear was talking about made a lot of sense. Talking about the 3 witnesses, those 3 huge. I didn't even see it. I saw a little bit at the last night when I kind of looked at ESPN, and it said something about the masters being stopped because of some trees falling. But I didn't think, I didn't really delve into it that much. But that's how the Most High works. He put a spirit on Brother Abdullah Seer to go ahead and do a video and break it down, because most people's gonna go right over their head. But everything that happens has some meaning for the Most High. And Brother, Abdullah Seer did a great video. I've only watched maybe the first like 10-15 minutes of the video. I haven't watched the whole thing yet. But the first 10-15 minutes is spot on, great information. And it just talks about, these 3 witnesses saying that you're not going to be comfortable on these lands anymore. You're not down on the 17th hole exactly. And what Brother Abdullah was talking about, how like usually around the 17th hole, there's usually a lot of people there watching. And but there was no one really in that area where the trees fell, which was kind of like a miracle in itself, and that's just showing you that there's signs everywhere. These 3 huge trees falling, being like through the 3 witnesses, and how there was probably slaves and it's housed on the property. We know that, about our ancestors being there before. We know that about the spirits of our ancestors being there. I totally agree with that, because hey, our ancestors have been looking forward to this time. And see, that's the problem with the Gentiles right now. See, you guys, you want to be able to enjoy your Easter. You want to be able to enjoy, your holidays, or as you call them, your holidays. You want to use it. You want to act as if life is just going to go on as it's been with you on top. But see, your society has left out a whole section of society has been left out. They've been left out. They have not been able to enjoy the blessings of the society. And it has not been on accident, but that's okay. See, that I'm not here to like argue like, oh, this has just been so unfair, and hey, it's just been so unfair that we've been screwed over, and we haven't been able to get a fair shake in this and that. I'm not here for that. You see, maybe that's why it's a little bit different. I don't care about things being fair in your society, because this was your blessing. You see what I'm saying? This was your blessing. This was your time to shine. This was your time to have it your way. You get to be the king. The Burger King, right? I guess, to have everything your way. Cool. I'm glad you had that. You know what I'm saying? Because you've pretty much shown the Most High you have a testimony. And your testimony is that if you given the opportunity to run things, we see that you're going to run everything into the ground. You see what I'm saying? So I'm not the one that's like, see, that's what they want. They want us to go to them to beg for equality. I don't want equality, because you know what? You're not going to get equality. You see what I'm saying? That's the thing, that you're not going to get equality from the Most High. There's nothing in the Bible that says, hey, after you run everything into the ground, I'm going to make everything equal and we're going to work everything out. We're going to live side by side, hand in hand, in equality. That's not in the scriptures. When you read Isaiah 14, it says the Most High is going to turn his face back to Israel. He's going to raise up his people. It has nothing to do with all of us holding hands, and that's why at the end you're still not even trying to work things out. You see what I'm saying? Because you already know that there is no equality coming to you. There is no fixing this problem. There's no fixing, the things that you've done to this society. Now, what Brother Abdullah here, made great point. He said that, like, the spirits are sick and tired of it. They're tired of it. You guys have had your time. And that you're not going to be happy. You're not going to have any peace living here. You're not going to have any peace living on stolen land. You're not going to have any peace being somewhere that you are not welcome. It has nothing to do with us. It has to do with the spirits. The spirits are now going to make it, as you can already tell, they're making it very, very difficult for you to live here anymore. They're making it very, very difficult for you to be able to push your lies anymore. You know, only people that are believing the BS that you're saying, okay, are the ones who are sleepwalking just like you. That's it. Those are the only people that believe anything that you say. I got a couple of people, oh my God, it's hilarious. One dude came on and he was putting up some comments. And it's funny because all of their comments when they're trying to come against the truth, they're all the same arguments that they've always said. Oh, Big Judah, you know, or you know, it sounds like you know, the people over there in Israel and Palestine, they would disagree with you with, you know, you're saying that you're the chosen people and that those lands aren't their lands. They would disagree with that. The Palestinians and the Israelis. Who gives a shit if they disagree? I don't care if they disagree. See, nobody cares if we disagree. We don't agree with a lot of stuff that happens to us. We don't agree with a lot of things that's said to us, but nobody cares that we don't agree, right? So why in the hell do I care what the hell they agree with? You see what I'm saying? I don't care what they agree with. Oh, they would disagree that you're the real people. And African Americans came over here on slave ships. First of all, African American is a term that was barely even made up in 1988, 87, whatever. There's nowhere in the Bible that calls me an African American. So that's, again, another byword, like I told him, that you guys have made up. You've made up all these bywords, and then you expect us to adhere to these bywords that you've made up and make it sound as if somehow that is the end all be all. Just because you call me an African American doesn't make me an African American. Just because you call yourself white doesn't make you white. Just because you call yourself British doesn't make you British. You see what I'm saying? So I don't care what bywords you make up for me. I don't care what bywords you make up for yourself. The Most High is going to have the last say. He's already showing you right now that he doesn't care what you think. As you can tell now, over there in Ish's land, they're having issues. You see what I'm saying? Now they're all fighting with each other and they're all having issues, right? Why is that? Now America's like, hey, you know, you're not welcome over here. And Ish is like, well, you know, you don't tell us what to do. Now they're having issues. Should we care? Nope, I don't care. Y'all, that's your business. That's what I've learned to say, that's not my business. That's your business. I don't care. Do you? I said, because all of your stuff, this is all the stuff that you guys have made up for yourselves, and now you guys are going to have to deal with it. It has nothing to do with me. I didn't set anybody up in any lands. I didn't say these people are the chosen people. I have not been given all these people. Yeah, I mean, we've been giving them billions of dollars, but I didn't make any of those decisions. Y'all made all those decisions. So now all these chickens are all coming home to roost, and now you're going to have to deal with it. Has nothing to do with me. You guys made up all these religions. Now, like I said, you're going to have all. Look at all these people that are running around this weekend getting ready for Easter weekend. They're getting ready, getting their peeps, those little chickens to eat or whatever, you know, just like in the picture. You know, they're getting ready to do their Easter egg hunts. They're getting ready to go, and now they don't want to call it Easter anymore. They want to, because now there's a negative connotation to Easter. Now it's he is risen. Just because you call it something different doesn't make it any different. It's Ishtar, Easter, whatever you guys want to do. Babylonian worship. Have fun with that. You see what I'm saying? Have fun with that. That's all on you. The days of us trying to like argue with you all the time. Oh, you shouldn't be doing that. You shouldn't be. Yeah, maybe you should be doing that. That's, you know, that's your God. That's what you do. Go do that. You see what I'm saying? Because we first got into this truth, I know all of us, all you used to love those peeps. Those peeps were always nasty to me. They were always like full of freaking sugar. I did not like them at all. But, you know, it's like, hey, it's the stuff that you guys are all now are going to have to deal with. This is all stuff you guys have to deal with. You know, I watched a great video. I'm not going to say the name of the dude's video because, you know, I don't want to be charged with bullying or something like that. But this dude made a video about, I mean, this just shows you like how like crazy or demented a lot of people are right now. And he was talking about a Christian college. A Christian college has gone woke. Okay? And this just shows you how, like, you know, delusional the vast majority of society is. Okay? The dude was like, oh, you know, Baylor University is making their RAs, you know, the resident, whatever, assistants. When you're in college, you live in a dorm, and they're the ones who kind of control what goes on in the dorm. Well, they're making the RAs take a class or take some kind of training on CRT, on critical race theory. And this dude was just going crazy. This critical race theory is just, and Christianity is totally incompatible, because critical race theory makes it sound like if you're a certain color, that, you know, you're an oppressor, and that if you're, you know, if you're not a certain color, that you're oppressed. And, you know, and Christianity teaches that we're all equal. He goes, you know, and if someone will tell me that I've might not have enslaved someone, but I've benefited from society. He goes, I haven't benefited from society. My first job, I only made like $10,000 a year coaching, you know, and, you know, anything I made after that, I did because I made because I worked hard. And I don't make as much money as LeBron James. He goes, he makes way more money than I do. I was like, see, that's what you guys do. You talk about just some regular random dude who's in society, and you got to compare him to like a dude who's like at the pinnacle of his profession and professional sports. Well, I don't make as much money as LeBron James, so therefore, you know, I'm not benefiting from this society. I was like, that's what you guys have always done. You guys always find someone that you can put up on a pedestal so you can compare yourself to that person. Why I'm not doing as well as this person. LeBron James makes all this money and whatever else because he is like one of the best basketball players ever. So if that's who you're going to compare yourself to, you're just some regular Joe Schmo, you know, in society, and you're going to compare yourself to LeBron James. You see what I'm saying? I'm sure LeBron James doesn't make as much as all these CEOs, and the vast majority of CEOs aren't so-called black men. We already know who the vast majority of CEOs are, and they're not our people. How do they get those positions? The vast majority of the owners of the teams aren't black, are they? How did they all get those teams? Because everything has been so equal, and we had equal access to buy those teams, but you know, we just chose not to. You know, all these professional sports got all these coaches, and they've rarely hired so-called black people. But the vast majority of people who play the sports are so-called black people. You see what I'm saying? Like, their thinking is just what they believe and what actually really happened in the past. There's a disconnect. So you guys keep saying like, oh, well, you know, critical race theory and Christianity, you know, aren't, you know, compatible. Well, your American society and Christianity and what you say it is not compatible. Christianity and the Bible, supposedly, you guys keep saying all this stuff about equality. I'm like, I don't know why you guys keep saying this, because it's not about equality in the Bible. That's not what it's about. Okay, but you guys keep saying that. Well, maybe I'm sorry. I shouldn't say the Bible, because Christianity has nothing to do with the Bible. My bad. Your religion of Christianity talks a good game about equality, but it has never, ever practiced any kind of equality. There we go. Let's just clarify that. The Bible is all about recompense. The Bible is all about one family and all the things they're going to be going through and their restoration at the end. That's it. All you got to do is read Deuteronomy 7 and 6, and you know how the Most High, you know, is not about equality. And that's all over the Bible. Jacob have I loved, Esau have I hated. There's no way around any of that. Okay? So, but your Christianity You guys keep saying things like, well, it's all about equality. When? We need to get back to our roots. When was America ever about equality? Never. So this guy's like talking like, I never had slaves, but they're telling me that I benefited from the society. Yes, you have. You can sit there and act as if you haven't. We don't know all the deep, dark secrets of your family and the things that they've given you or the opportunities that you have gotten. Even just going for a job, that job that you say you got, maybe you got that one because of the color of your skin. We don't know that. Maybe there was other so-called black people that were qualified that didn't get the job. We don't know that. But you guys have a thought that things have been equal since the 1860s. You see what I'm saying? You guys act like ever since slavery supposedly ended, that things have been equal. And it's never been equal. So I thought that was absolutely hilarious listening to this guy. And then what they always want to do is they want to find one black person that agrees with them, and they want to elevate that one black person. Oh yeah, I went to college and I got a good job and I made good money and yeah, everything's equal now. Just because someone perseveres through society and gets a decent job and makes decent money still doesn't mean that society has not been set up for them to fail. Doesn't mean that whatsoever. There's going to be a few that are going to make it through the cracks. You see what I'm saying? There's going to be a few that are going to make it through the cracks and they're going to be successful because as a people, we are successful. We can persevere. We have to. Not in a supposedly Christian society, we shouldn't have to. But we do anyways. Just like other people, so-called white people. Some of you guys, hey, you have it rough too and you persevere and get through things as well. I'm not saying that does not happen. It happens in all races. But black and brown people have to deal with that way more than other people. You see what I'm saying? So believe what you want. I mean, I got pulled over by a police officer and it was hilarious because the guy pulled me over, and this is exactly what goes on with the guy was saying. And he's like, first thing, is this car yours? Yes, this car is mine. Do you have you ever been locked? Have you ever been in jail before? No. You've never been locked up before? No. You never been in jail? No. Dude asked me like 4 or 5 times. He just couldn't believe it because I said, no, I haven't been, and after he kind of ran my my license and whatever else, he kind of found out what I did as my profession. Dude's cop's demeanor totally changed, totally nice, everything else. And I'm like, but right from jump, because this is when I was a little bit bigger. They just assume that if you're a bigger dude, more muscular, whatever else, that you've been locked up and that you're in the system. And the dude was like just kind of surprised. I made it through all the cracks and I didn't get never been locked up before. We've all seen that before. We've all seen that before. We all got family members. I said, so dude found out I went to college, I had a degree, whatever else, had a decent job. Then all of a sudden, dude's demeanor totally changed. But it shouldn't be like that. If this was such a Christian society, we should all be looked at the same, right? But that's this society. That's how this society is. And see, they push we all should be hood, and the only way that you can be authentic is, to be a hood, to be in trouble, to be gangsta, to be this and to be that. That's the only way, and that's what you get. They love those stereotypes. You know what I'm saying? They love those stereotypes that, oh, you know, he had it rough, but he made it through. You know, they love that. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, a lot of my family members are college educated. You know, I said, so it's nothing like I was expected to go to school when I got older. You know what I'm saying? That was something my dad pushed. You're going to go to school. You're going to go. I didn't go. You're going to go. You know, you're going to play sports, and that's going to be your ticket to get, you know, I said, you know, our parents tell us certain things. Doesn't mean it always works out that way, because society be plucking us up and getting us all into trouble and stuff like that. I said, but we persevere through the difficult times. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure we've all, you know, have people that we've been around that, you know, didn't have those same opportunities and things like that. But enough about me. Back to this society. And, you know, it's like, hey, you Christians, you got to really think. You really should be looking at all the stuff that's going on in this society right now. You know what I'm saying? You really should be looking at the downfall of America. I shared a video, I forgot his name, but the guy who did, the black dude, shaved head, who does the economic stuff. He did a live a couple days ago with 3 guys. And it's just hilarious listening to the Gentiles talk about the fall of the dollar, right? And one of the guys was like talking about, well, you know, during FDR, that was like a progressive time where they were just giving away money, and they had all these government programs, and they were giving away money to people, and this, that. And I'm like, I like the way you put that. It's just kind of funny how you talk about the FDR programs and the stuff that he set up, but you didn't tell the people how those programs that FDR set up only benefited so-called white people. RTD, thank you. They only benefited so-called white people. You didn't say that part. You said FDR, you know, set up a progressive system and whatever else, and it was a pretty much government giveaway. But you forgot, you left out the part how this government giveaway was for so-called white people. See, they're really, when it's them that's getting the benefits, they hit all that. They hit that part, okay? When it's us that's supposedly getting all the benefits, they throw that in your face. Oh, you guys are getting welfare. You guys are just, you know, sucking the, you know, you're sucking, you know, society dry. This. And I was like, You start going back. Look, if you guys, I've done videos years ago on this, because there's a book. I don't know the name. I don't remember the name of the book, but it goes into, that's where your redlining comes in. Okay, that's where your Social Security comes in. But the Social Security had these things written in there where our people were excluded from them. So when the Wagner Act, I think it was unionization, but we were left out. You know, being able to get loans for homes, we were left out. See, that's what they be hiding all the time. Whatever happened to, hey, you guys talk about equality and Christianity, but you guys had these government programs that you benefited from, not us. Where was the Christianity then? Where were you guys all fighting as Christians? Shouldn't you have been fighting back then? Hey, that's not fair. You should make sure that everyone gets a loan for a home. You should make it so that if they go and fight in the wars, that the GI Bill, they get to come back and they get to actually, you know, take advantage of the GI Bill, and they get to go to college, and they get to go and buy homes. You Christians weren't fighting for the equality back then. You see what I'm saying? You guys didn't fight for equality back then. Where was all this, you know, godliness back then? But you guys are like, no. Don't let them get that stuff, because I want to be the ones that can buy all this property and get all these benefits and leave them out of it. You see what I'm saying? Like, just because you guys act like, you know, everything's about equality now, when you have the opportunity to push equality back then, your ancestors didn't do it. I was listening to some of Sister Pat's video yesterday, and she made a great point. She said that I think a lot of these kids, or a lot of these children, these great grandkids, whatever else, are going to be in for a shock, because they're going to realize that in order for them to have a society right now that they have, they benefit from, that they have money, they have inheritances, that someone had to do some dirt in order for them to be able to get on top. And all that dirt that was done has been hidden. All the dirt that was done in order to be able to elevate the people that are here now to these high positions and these, you got a lot of money, you got a lot of influence, whatever else. You don't realize the dirt that was done to our people in order for you to be able to enjoy that. At Gethsemane 12. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's the issue right now, is that people in this society have been so dumbed down that they don't have any idea of the dirt that their ancestors have done for them to be able to enjoy the society that they have today. That was a great point that Sister Pat had in her video yesterday. And I wanted to share that because I wanted to kind of piggyback on that, because that is so true. But see, I don't think that a lot of these kids don't know that. You see what I'm saying? They're really good at acting a certain way in our faces. You see what I'm saying? They're really good at, like, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, I didn't know you guys weren't allowed to get loans. I didn't know that. Oh, you mean like your grandparents couldn't go to college and get good jobs? I'm shocked. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm sorry. You ain't that stupid. You knew exactly. It wasn't that long ago. It wasn't like it was that long ago. Okay? So, you can miss me with that BS. I said, because I'm like, you guys are very smart, and y'all know exactly what you guys have been doing. You know what I'm saying? You all want to make it seem like, oh, I didn't know that. Really? I don't know why my whole neighborhood's white. I don't know why, like, everybody that I know here is white. I don't know how that happened. You don't know. No black people wanted to buy in a nice neighborhood. We all love living in the ghetto right on top of each other in, substandard housing. We all really like that, right? Oh, we don't want to go to college. You know what I'm saying? We didn't want to go to school. You see what I'm saying? Like, so you guys are going to have to come with the truth. I didn't know BS is not going to fly much longer. The redlining is not going to fly much longer. No, that's not going to fly at all. You know what I'm saying? Like, it doesn't fly with me, because I'm like, dude, this stuff is ridiculous. This is why, when the dude, they said, you just listen, when a guy was trying to say, oh, FDR was a giveaway, there was like that's democratic stuff because it's a giveaway. I was like, yeah, they were giving all of the shit away to you. They weren't giving it to us. You just conveniently left that part out. So if you know it was a giveaway, I mean, it was a white dude that was saying it. If you knew that during the time of FDR was a giveaway, was government giveaways and whatever else, are you trying to tell me that you knew it was a giveaway, but you didn't know it was a giveaway to only white people and not to black people? You didn't know that part, though? You didn't know that part about the laws that he was passing? You didn't know about all the... I can figure that out. I can find that out in some books. But you're trying to tell me that you didn't know that? Or you know what I'm saying? Like, you could have easily said, yeah, there was government giveaways, but not everyone benefited the same. None of that said. We got Google now. Look it up. Exactly. If you can find it in Google. Sometimes, hey, the Most High puts it on some of these Gentiles is to tell the truth. They write books for us to find, and the Most High be like, yeah, you need to get this book right here. Yeah. You don't need to read the whole book. Just read this chapter right here. And it's like, damn, they knew all this? damn. This is just during the time of FDR giveaways. This is not even talking about Homestead Acts before. This is not talking about the Head Right program. I don't know if you guys are even familiar with that. The Head Right program, I want to say, was when they Europeans first got here. Like, if they had slaves, they were able to get a certain amount of land depending on the slaves or the people they were bringing over. They were just getting land given to them hand over fist. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the information, it has just exploded, to where now they're pissed off about you reading books, and, they're trying to ban books. It's like we're, what is it, Footloose on steroids. Footloose, instead of it being like the little town now in Footloose where they were like, hey, we're gonna burn this book, we're gonna burn that book. Now it's like the whole state of Florida's banning books. All these states out there, you can't read that book, you can't read this book. I was like, it's got to be really ridiculous. Yep. So now this is just talking about a few things in society, okay? Now you go into religion. You know what I'm saying? It's like, I'm sorry, man, I have a hard time just listening to them talking about the Bible, saying just if a sermon pops up, I just can't even listen, because it's to me it's comedy, because you guys have to understand, especially Christians that listen, you guys have to understand your whole religion that they have set up for you. Hey, I like Footloose, man. What are you talking about, man? I still like Footloose. Footloose wasn't trash. It was good. But it got us ready for now. Who would have thought that Footloose would have went worldwide? And now they weren't reading books at Footloose. Now they've gone all over the country. They don't want you reading books. But wait, let's go back. You guys are making me laugh. Go back now to religions. You guys do understand that Christianity is a religion about not taking responsibility for shit. You guys do understand that, right? I mean, like, that your whole religion is just about not taking responsibility for anything. So you're praying that on Good Friday that Cesare came down, died for you, so that you don't got to pay for anything you've done, and you don't got to pay anything for that your ancestors have done. That's it. He's risen. He's conquered death. So now you don't have to pay for anything. That's all that your religion is about. Not paying for anything. That's all that they are concerned with. They are not concerned with anything else that's in the Bible. All they want to do is go find some verses that pretty much don't make them have to pay for anything. That's it. Either they don't gotta admit that they did anything wrong. They don't gotta admit their history. They can ban all books. They can ban all information. They don't want you to read. They don't want you to study for yourself. They don't want you to look at anything. All you got to do is worry about getting raptured. And if you don't get raptured, then it's okay, because then you're going to get some gold and silver, and then you are going to be able to restart the society all over again and be right on top again. That's all that their religion is about. That is all their religion is about. I mean, think of it. I mean, I'm sitting here thinking, I'm just cracking up and laughing, because I mean, like, if that's what I'm hearing from the pastors, it's always about, oh, Jesus paid the price. Jesus was sitting here and he paid the price for you. Jesus, take the wheel. Right? But yeah, I was like, so everything is about not taking responsibility for anything. That's it. That's the whole religion. Now, if you read the Bible, it's all about us having to pay when we mess up. In the scriptures, it talks about how we have to pay for the sins of our fathers. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's like our ancestors mess up, and if it's a 300-year sentence, 400-year sentence, we're paying that sentence, the whole thing. We're paying it. But for them, their whole religion is about not paying for anything. Not only do you not have to pay for anything, okay, then they can mix in devil worship and whatever else they want to worship into their religion also, right? You know, whatever they want to call it, you know, and then tell you that what you're doing is evil, but what they're doing is totally perfectly fine. I mean, it's like I said, it's just absolutely amazing. They've kicked you off the channel. Yeah, you know, it's like, hey, just try to persevere through the stuff, you know, as much as we can. Don't, like I said, you know, we've all learned, I mean, that if we pull out Bible verses, that they have no idea about anything that's in the Bible. Because I don't even waste my time with most people. I haven't pulled out Bible verses to talk to anybody in a long time because most people don't know anything about the Bible. You know what I'm saying? I talk to my family here, you know, I make videos or whatever else. But as far as, like, you know, having a discussion with someone, if even if they want to try to broach religion, you start bringing up verses, the conversation's over with. But that's what Christianity has done. So that is exactly what Christianity has done. It's nothing about learning, growing. It's all about not taking responsibility for anything. How do you go to church your whole life, you know, religiously, consistently, just about every Sunday, you go out during the week, you volunteer time at the church, you know, you volunteer time, you know, doing things for the church, and then you come to the end of your life and you can't answer basic questions about the Bible. How is that? That has to be something that's done deliberately. It has to be something that's done deliberately, that you've spent all this time going to church and you don't know anything about what the foundation of the church is based on. I mean, I've talked to older people, and they really get some people get upset and offended. I'm sure we all have, when you start talking about scriptures and actually what's in there, because they have no idea what's really in the Bible. Not because, you know, of their own fault. It's because of the people they put their trust in have just taught them a religion where no one has to take responsibility for anything. I mean, knowing a lot of scripture, knowing a lot of information, that's not what's going to get you into heaven. That's not what I'm saying. Okay? What I'm saying is that if you want to foster a relationship with the Most High, you would think that, and you spent all this time, you know, putting your time and effort into something, that you would be growing and you would be learning. You see what I'm saying? Like, everything in the church is about, you want to make it to heaven. You got to do this so you can make it to heaven. You got to do this so you can make it to heaven. You got to, you know, spend this, you got to show up on Sundays to make it to heaven. You can't eat meat on Fridays or you're going to go to hell. You got to go and get your cross with blah, blah, blah to get to heaven. You know, don't do this, you're going to go to hell. You know, everything's about, you know, but it's like, I spend time doing things for the Most High because I want to know more. I don't do it thinking that with some ulterior motive, like, if I do this, I'm going to make it to heaven. If I do this, I'm going to make it to heaven. That is not why I study. That is not why I make videos. I don't make videos because I want to go to heaven. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not my motivation. My motivation is to study and to learn in order to get closer to the Most High. That's it. Never am I like, well, shoot, man, I've done all these videos. I've studied all this stuff. My ticket is stamped. I'm in for sure. Never do I think like that. I want a relationship with the Most High. I feel that chasing after the Most High shows me, well, I want to know. I wanted to chase after the Most High. That's it. Has nothing else to do with anything else. But churches teach you, pretty much that you have to do these things in order to make it to heaven. The Bible teaches you that you've already come from wherever you come from. If you come from heaven, that's where you're going to go back to. If you come from the second heaven, third heaven, fourth heaven, fifth heaven, that's where you're going to go back to. So we're here going through this life, and you get like a something that calls you, and then you start to want to chase after the Most High. That's what I do. I can only speak for myself. Okay, but I don't do anything with the motivation of, well, I got to do this so I can make it to heaven. That's not me. Okay, I'm not gonna do this because I don't want to go to hell. I was like, the Most High gonna send me wherever He wants to send me. I don't think I have much. I don't think that what I'm doing has that much of a, it really is like saying like, if I do this, I'm gonna go here, and if I go do this, I'm gonna go there. The Most High knew that before He sent me here. He knew what I was gonna do, good or bad, before I got here. Like I said, I've done a lot of bad. Okay, I ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? I'm not here like, like with these pastors be trying to make it seem like, oh yeah, man, I'm just very godly. Check out my suit. I'm blessed because I got this nice car. I'm blessed because I got this nice house. I don't do anything wrong. I'm like, oh, okay, man. I said, whatever. I said, I'm here on a spiritual journey, trying to find my way back to the Most High, trying to learn, trying to foster a relationship with the Father while I'm going through this life. That's it. All these people here think that they're gonna make it to heaven because they're gonna go to church tomorrow morning early. The CEOs, Christmas and Easter only crowd. You know what I'm saying? Like, they think they're gonna make it to heaven because they're gonna drop a big check off to the church tomorrow. It just shows you that how the society is. It just shows you how this society is. The society is screwed. Easter pork. Just pray over it, right? 3 services. Yep. They gonna make that money tomorrow. People gonna be dropping off them checks because they ain't been there since Christmas. Christmas and Easter only. That's it. I know the churches make a lot of their money, make most of their money, I'm sure, off Easter and Christmas. I've been seeing all these churches having these pop-ups, and they doing their Easter egg hunts and all this other stuff. But like I said, hey, you guys need to start asking yourselves some questions. Is the Most High blessing this country anymore? Is the Most High blessing your churches anymore? Are you growing, or are you just going through the motions? Have you grown as you've been going to your church? Have you gotten closer to the Most High? Have you learned anything? Have you learned anything about the Holy Spirit? Have you learned anything about the angels? Have you realized that the churches have lied to you about everything? There's all this history that the other nations have been hiding from us. I mean, because there's all these things you really got to think about. Is your church just all concerned pretty much with it? Just you don't have to pay for anything. And what part of society does that fly? And what part of this society does it fly that you don't have to pay for anything? You can commit crimes and do whatever you want, and they will always forgive you if you just ask for it. Where in what society do they do that at? They don't do that here in this society. And if you know that this society is pretty much the bottom of the barrel, and they don't allow you to do that, what makes you think that the Most High is just going to allow you to just do whatever the hell you want, not spend any time with him, not chase after him, no nothing, but you just say Jesus and you're good? Where's that at? You guys don't do that with criminals here, so why would the Most High do that? Find those examples in Scripture. One without karma, right? And where's that at, right? So he said, what Sister Pat said, like I said, made a lot of sense. A lot of these people, a lot of these kids, here, not just kids, adults, either they don't know what their forefathers have done, or they don't care, and they thought, and religion has allowed them to think that there never is going to be a punishment or a payment due. And that would make sense, because that's what these churches do. They make you feel like you're never going to have to pay. So therefore, you can say things like, I never owned slaves. Well, you guys didn't stop making money when slavery supposedly stopped. It wasn't like you guys stopped exploiting us in 1860s. You see what I'm saying? Like, you guys make it sound like, well, I didn't have slaves, so therefore, everything's cool. I said, the exploitation of our people didn't stop then. The exploitation of our people has continued all the way until today. So you're still benefiting from a society that is exploiting a segment of its population. You see what I'm saying? So just because you don't want to admit it doesn't matter. The Most High is keeping an eye on all of it. Now, it'd be better if you just admitted the truth. You know what I'm saying? The Most High keeps flawless books. Exactly, Ohio player. Exactly. Now, see, you guys have set up a church that acts like the Most High is only looking at what I'm doing behind my closed doors at my house. But he's not looking at what you guys are doing with all of society. You see what I'm saying? Like, oh, Big Judas did this, behind closed doors. He's going to go to hell. Okay. But you set up a society that just screwed up absolutely everybody. You can just say sinner's prayer or white Jesus and you're good. If I don't believe in white Jesus or a sinner's prayer, I'm going to hell. But you're allowed to exploit millions and millions of people and you're good. I mean, that doesn't even make any sense. The 10 Commandments, applies to me and us people at the bottom, but it doesn't apply to you guys at the top. It doesn't apply to you CEOs. Well, LeBron James makes more money than I do, so therefore I said, I don't benefit from this society because LeBron James makes more money than I do. So therefore, everything's equal in society. I said, it just shows you how this society has just screwed over everyone. The laws are done away with for them. But they never had the laws in the first place, right? So they never applied to them anyways. So have at it. Wisdom has left the building, right? Yeah, like I said, it's now when you read scriptures, I mean, they just pop out now. You know what I'm saying? Like, the scriptures now have so much more meaning than they ever have before. I can speak for myself personally. You know what I'm saying? Like, the stuff that like I see going on in society, and you look at and you read the Bible, I said it just pops out so much. when you learn to look at the stars, when you learn to look at the planets, you learn to look at the constellations, you learn that there's other information in other books. When you know, and then you're not afraid to read other books. You know, when you're not afraid to delve into other, avenues and other information that have been, you've been lied to about, or you've been discouraged to even look at. It's like there's so much more information when you realize that we were more technologically advanced in the past than we are now. That just right there is enough to just really throw you for a loop when you really think of it. We start to realize that there's all these places that we are not allowed to go and explore because our handlers do not want us to get this understanding or information. It just starts to it just expands. Like the Most High is infinite. So therefore, if the Most High is infinite, then, we're not stuck with just thinking about what's going on this planet. We're not stuck just thinking what's happening in our city. We're not stuck with just looking at what this one book, this Bible that they've given us, and they've told us is all the Word of God is. Then it's like we're opened up to so much more. But not everyone is opened up to that. So if not everyone is opened up to that, the ones who are not going to want you to start to delve into that because they can't come. They want you to stay where they're at. You see what I'm saying? And I've learned to hey, if that's where you're at, stay there. If that's where you're comfortable, stay there. You see what I'm saying? I don't force people to go into other avenues if they're not called or they're not ready. There are avenues that I don't go into because I'm not ready. Because I'm not called. You see what I'm saying? So, so that's what you have to kind of learn. Like I said, that's above my pay grade. That's not for me. People will always tell me, Big Judah, you need to read this book. You need to bring out this information. Why? I said, why don't you bring it out? I said, I don't have any unction. I don't have any motivation to get into that topic. So if you think it's good, you read it. You set up a page and you teach on it. You see what I'm saying? People aren't used to hearing that. They're used to hearing a pastor or priest say, I will read it for you. I will tell you what you can't read. Don't read that. Don't look at this. Don't look at that. You see what I'm saying? I'm learning every day. And if there's certain things that I'm interested in, the Most High moves me to, I'll go into that. If it's something that's not, certain things I've gotten into, I'm like, this is not for me. This is still too much for me. I stay out of it. It's not me. I don't down people who get into that. That's not me. We follow the Spirit, and that's it. So it's just things that us as a nation, hey, we got people that just imagine. I like to think about us when we come back as a nation, and we're gonna have people that concentrate on what the Most High has given them, concentrate on what the Most High has blessed them with. So that if I have a question about constellations or I have a question about this, I will be led to the person who has been given that blessing to be able to get that information. I don't need to know all of it. I said, the Most High gave this person that blessing. If I want to know about, growing something and I don't know how to do that, I'll go to that person. You know what I'm saying? If I want to learn about a certain instrument, I'll go to that person. You see what I'm saying? We have people that are going to be blessed with certain, blessings and gifts, and that's their gift, and that's who we'll go to. You know what I'm saying? I'm not an expert on a whole bunch of stuff, but I know that we have people in our nation that are. You know what I'm saying? So, there's that movie that's coming out about the dude who plays the violin. I can't pronounce the Chevalier, however you pronounce it. It comes out later on this month. But I never heard of him before, you know. And I saw that part where he was dueling with Mozart, and he was busting Mozart's ass playing the violin. And it's like, it was beautiful to see. It was beautiful to see. Like, you know, Mozart copied him. You know, we all know that. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, but those kinds of people, like people like our people that were like, you know, great at music and things like that, it's been hidden. They have been wanting to be the ones that have been great at everything. Okay, but now at the end, these other movies are coming out. You guys remember the name of that movie, Chevalier, the French, when he goes to France and he goes there and he learns from the French. If you guys put the name of the movie, it's gonna come out later on. But it's like they call it like a hidden true story. It wasn't hidden. They known about it. They just haven't. They've been hiding it because they don't want us to. There we go. Thank you. They don't want us to realize that we have a great history that has been hidden this whole time. But now that history is going to be coming out, and people are going to be upset. They're going to call it things like being woke, CRT, critical race theory, alternative history. It's just a history that they have hidden that now the Most High is bringing out, and they don't like it because now it is exposing them. And now it's like people are like questioning, why haven't I heard about this before? Why haven't I heard about that before? It hasn't been on accident. It's been on purpose. And it should be going now. If it's been music they've been hiding, if it's been like, you know, things like that, what about the Bible? What about the people of the Bible? What about who has authority over the scriptures? What about Hebrew history? What about natives? Who was here before? Who were these lands given to? Because as much as you want to believe that the Gentiles have been telling you the truth, the Most High has dictated who gets which lands. That is not something that the Gentiles get to decide. And the Most High is going to make everyone, just like it talks about in Revelation 18, go back to their original lands. So it doesn't matter if the Gentiles have called you Mexican and said that this is your land. Doesn't matter if they've called you native and they say this is your land. Doesn't matter if they've called you African American and said that this is your land. Doesn't matter if they said you're a Palestinian and this is your land, or you're Ish and this is your land. It doesn't matter what the Gentiles have said. Doesn't matter what their designation is. The Most High is going to make it so that everyone's going to go back to their original lands. And they're not going to be able to live wherever the hell they want to. They're going to live where the Most High tells them to. And the only way that they've been able to do this is because we've been under the curses. The curses are coming to an end, and now it's going to be time for people to move. They already know this because now you start looking at the money that's being sent all over the place. You look at the military equipment that's being sent all over the place. God knows where people really are. You look at how many videos are they going to make about, okay, supposedly the United States sends a submarine with 100 and something rockets to the Mediterranean. They sent another submarine to the Black Sea. They sent warships here. They sent, but nothing happens. Why is nothing happening? Why are everything getting moved but nothing happens? And every day they're making more videos on it. Why is it, oh, Russia's going to have a new offensive in the Ukraine. Oh, the Ukrainians are going to have a new offensive in the springtime. Oh, this is going to happen and that's going to happen. And nothing happens. The RTD guy was, they were also talking about Trump. And, well, you know, it was funny because they're like, well, see, this, they were trying to say like pretty much this downfall of America was supposed to have happened 4 years ago. But because Trump was in office, it didn't happen. As if somehow Trump was like an outsider, which he's not an outsider. Because then when a guy says, well, you know, Trump was in office and he didn't really do much of anything. And He pretty much wanted interest rates low and he wanted printing money. And I'm like, yeah, nothing changed because he's part of it too. What you guys are all not getting is it didn't happen before because we were still under the curses. That's why these countries did not come together. That's why they didn't come together and form, the BRICS. They weren't doing any of that. Because what you guys are failing to realize or failing to admit is that everything revolves around Israel. As soon as you get that through your heads, everything revolves around the Israelites. That's why all of a sudden, all the BRICS nations are coming together so fast. That's why all these nations are coming together. Because if you put it in the stars, Pluto moved, was it to Aquarius? And that last video we did talked about how that girl was like, I knew things were going to change, but damn, I didn't realize it was going to change this fast. That's because it's the Most High showing you that when my people awaken, when they've served their punishment, it's game, set, match for everyone else. Game, set, match for everyone else. So you guys, it's hilarious. Oh, it's because of Trump that's why this didn't happen 4 years ago. No, it's because we were going through our punishment. That's why. It has nothing to do with Trump. It had nothing to do with who was in office. Because if you haven't realized, they're all in it together. So if they're all in it together, why have things changed so much in the last month? What's happened in the last month? Oh, our new year. The real new year. Pluto moved into Aquarius. That's what's happened. We're getting closer and closer to 2024, which is when the X marks a spot over here in the Americas. Jacob's trouble is coming to an end, not just beginning like they want to say. Time for judgment for the other nations, not for Israel anymore, because we've been under judgment the whole time. That's why. We're just, we're finishing up Passover. We're finishing up unleavened bread. We are following the ways of our Father. We're coming back to our traditions, coming back to our heritage, while the vast majority of the world is still following the ways of Satan and the churches. We're trying to tell you, but we're only going to tell you for so long, and then the Most High is going to shut our mouths, and you're just going to have to deal with the consequences. But we're going out of our way to try to show you things, show you why things are happening. We tell you these things before they happen. I've been talking about Joel chapter 2 for years, and how the armies were going to leave for years, when people didn't realize nothing was happening. That's when the Most High gave me that. So, hey, he's the one that put it in my mind. I made the video, put it out. No one else was talking about Joel chapter 2 and how they're going to be taking the armies away from the Americas. They're going to be taking their armies away from the Americas. I said because everyone thought that the main, that the land of Israel is over there in the so-called Middle East. And we've been saying that it's actually here. We have lands. I'm sure we have more than just the Americas, because it's lands with seasons. That's what it talks about in Jubilees. It's a land. We have lands with seasons. He gave Ham the hot lands, gave Japheth the cold lands, and he gave us the lands with seasons. So I'm sure there's other lands other than just America, okay? But these are the lands that the other nations are not allowed to come to for a very long time. Okay? So like I said, people are allowed to, hey, you're allowed to believe whatever you want to believe. I don't care at this point. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you want to agree, cool. If you don't, cool. I always tell people, go do the research yourself. Go do the research yourself. I'm not like your pastor who's going to tell you, don't look it up. I'm going to tell you, and then this is it, don't look it up. You know what I'm saying? I'm not like that. Hey, go research it. If you find something different, bring it out. Just like that guy who tried to make a video. Oh, well, no, he made comments. He doesn't make a video, because I went to his thing and he got 1 subscriber, no videos, no information. But he's going to come over here and tell us about, the Israel. Well, the Middle Easterners, they're black. What is it? They're olive color. So they're black or green, right? That's what colors olives are, right? The same things that they've always said, the same weak arguments they always make. I said there's nothing new. You know, you African Americans were on slaves, and I'm like, okay, bro, whatever, man. You can believe what you want, man. If that's what you want to believe, that we were slaves, and you guys had us under your thumb, and you brought us all over here on slave ships, be my guest. Cool. We'll see. You guys want to talk about how the Middle Easterners are all olive color, which would be black or green, and you know, you guys have been able to say all these things. I said, you know, you've been able to say all these things for so long, and no one's questioned you. Now we're saying our own thing, and we can care less what you have to say, and that bothers the hell out of you. He says something like, "Oh, you guys, everything about you guys is about race. Everything about, you know, with you guys, it's about race, and race doesn't matter. Everything to us is about race." I said, you guys are the ones that set up a whole society. It's about race. Your whole society is about race. So please stop trying to project your sins and the things that your society and your churches have done onto me. I don't have a Catholic church that has only put white men as popes. I'm not the one who's done that. You guys have done that. Pretty much all the presidents have been white men. So don't tell me, you know, you don't allow us to vote because of the color of our skin. 2/3 of our people aren't even considered men because you guys have made all these laws. So please, stop it. You know, stop trying to make it sound like we're the ones all about race. It's been you the whole time. You're the ones that have made everything about race. It has not been us. Remember, we've gone to your churches. We went to your schools. We went to your colleges. We had no problem, you know, with going to church, serving white Jesus, praying to white Jesus. Don't all of a sudden now that we're like, hey, hold on, that doesn't seem right. That's a bunch of BS. Oh, you made laws that we couldn't even get a loan because of the color of our skin? All of a sudden now we're getting this information. Now it's us that has a problem and makes everything about race when you guys have been doing it and keeping it on the down low. Yeah, you can't get Social Security pretty much because, you know, you have certain jobs that we only allow you guys to have. So therefore you don't get these, you know, these perks. Yeah, you can't, you know, unionize because you're blacks. Yeah, no, yeah. So don't, please. I said, stop it. Stop trying to make it sound like I don't care what color you are. You guys are the ones that have cared about what color we are. So, you know, you guys are the one that changed Jesus, Yahushua, into a white man. It was not us that did that. You did it. I got the older, you know, books, the Russian icons, shows them all being black. You guys are the ones that changed them, not me. So all the pictures I'm seeing this weekend look like the one that's on the thumbnail. I didn't come up with that picture. I didn't make all the movies. I didn't put Charleston Heston in there, you know, for the 10 Commandments. You guys did all that. So please stop acting like that's me. I don't make any of those. I don't make any of those decisions. You do. Okay? So like I said, please. I love everyone. Maybe not the same, not equally. I said, but, you know, I have videos out here that are for everyone to listen to. Everyone can, I encourage everyone to study. I encourage everyone to find the truth for themselves. I don't hate. I'm not here preaching hate on anyone. I don't say all white people are this, or I don't say all black people are that, because they're not. Because we're mixed. Okay? All I do is put the information out there. What you do with the information is up to you. You see what I'm saying? See, that's what happens when you guys set up a truth and you guys try to control it. At the beginning, you guys were the one that set up people that would push the whole, you know, all white people are this and all black people are that. I don't push that because I don't believe that. Because there's plenty of so-called black people that I don't trust at all. Because they've sold out or they got different spirits. You can just feel they They got different spirits. I got plenty of people in my family. And I'm like, yeah, they look like me. They look the same, but I don't know. Plenty of black and brown people. You know that, hey, so I always try the spirit, and I think we all do that. Okay? We're not hating, we're just stating facts, and that's it. Now, do you guys do the same thing? Do you guys do the same thing? So-called white people, do you try the spirit of us so-called black people? Do you look at black and brown people and kind of like, you know, well, I'm not going to pass judgment on them. I'm going to let them, you know, you might say, you know, I'm going to try their spirit, but you got to get close enough to us. You know what I'm saying? To try our spirit. If you're already kind of, you know, hesitant to even listen to anything we have to say, like I said, I was like, dude, if you're not even going to listen to what I have to say, how the hell can you try my spirit? If I read the Bible and I come up with something totally different than you do, right? I come up with something totally different than you do, and you just say, oh, that's bogus, that's wrong, I don't agree, that's it. How is that trying the spirit? You're putting yourself up here, right? And you're putting me here right from jump. Oh, you need to prove this to me. You need to prove that to me. What scripture? Oh, that's not what that scripture means. How is that? How are we equal? How are you trying my spirit? How are you finding out what it is that I believe? When you, exactly. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, come on now. We, at arm's length, exactly. You don't even have us over to the house. Right? Exactly, right? So I was like, hey, you know, we've been trying your spirit. That's what you guys want us to do. You want us to give you a fair shake. You want us to look at you, and you want us to treat you fairly. Do you do the same? Do you do the same? That's so true. Can two walk together if they do not agree? Exactly. Do you do the same for me? You know, if I walk in, if I walk into a room, you know, they look at me right from jump and they already have a certain kind of a, you know, a thought process. You know what I'm saying? Like, trust me, I got that all the time. Okay? When before, people always be like, oh, when they finally saw what I looked like, they're like, oh, I thought you were white. I thought you were white. You sound like you're white. I've heard that all my life. All right. But when I walk into a room, you know, and I don't say anything, you know, people have a totally different thought process of who I am or what I'm like or whatever else. Most of the time they're kind of like, oh man, you're a lot more intelligent than I thought you were. You're a lot more well-spoken than it might take them a while, but that kind of crap kind of comes out. I'm just like, okay, all right, you know. So we've all had that, right? We've all had that, because they want us to all, you know, be thugs, and they want us all to speak a certain way. They want us to speak with broken English. They want us to speak with, you know, uneducated, pretty much, as they like to put it. You know, that's what they've been taught. You know, but it is what it is. You know, language is really important. I've noticed this with like a lot of people. You know, and it can break down barriers, but you know, but they got to kind of be careful, because now, hey, just because I can speak a certain way and I might be somewhat articulate or whatever else, doesn't mean I agree with you. See, that's what you guys used to always kind of be able to kind of like, oh, well, he went to college. Oh, well, he's educated. So he's down with the program. He must, he understands our history, and he understands how great we are, and this and that. See, that's how they used to be able to, like, you know, think about us. Now it's like, hold on. He's well-read, he's articulate, and he doesn't agree with shit I say anymore. Now all the lies that I've been able to just kind of like to say and he would just accept, these people don't accept anymore. Now it's totally different. You see, and there's a whole bunch of people that are like that now. There's a whole lot of people now that are like, you know, like I said, I'm used to very smart people around me. I have, you know, very articulate, women that have always been around me and things like that. So it's like they're very, so, you know, they were very well read, you know, and so it's like, you can't just BS people now. You used to be able to BS them before, or maybe you could, maybe you weren't BSing them, but it was just the way society was that, yeah, we know the truth, but we got to play the game in order to get through, you know. But now that we see that we're at the end, people are like, yeah, I don't got to play this game no more. You know what I'm saying? Is now I don't got to play this game anymore. It's a wrap. You know, when you know that you're at the end of it's the fourth quarter, you're at the last minute. Now you might, you know, like you're up by 20. Now you might take that 45-foot shot just to piss the coach off. You know what I'm saying? Now you might just kick the ball in the stands just because, game's over. Who cares? It's a new day, exactly, right? Before we had to kind of play the game in order to be able to get that playing time from the coach. But now it's my 5th year. I'm a senior. You know, I'm not coming back next year. I already got my degree. Last game of the year. F it. You know, you might do some outlandish shit now. You know? So, it is what it is. They don't even have the ball, right? So, yeah, fam, like I said, just things to kind of think about, you know. All bets are off at this point, you know. I just wanted to kind of come on and, we're all having an opportunity for everybody to come together. You know, Israelites, Gentiles. You know, there's a lot of Gentiles that are going to get this truth and, you know, and they're going to accept, you know, this truth, and they're going to make changes. That talks about it in 2nd Baruch. That's, you know, not all of them are all the same, you know. That's why I said, that's why we got to also give them an alternative to hear the truth. We got to also give them opportunity to realize, like, look, hey man, we're not all assholes. You know, we're not all militant. We're not all, you know, hateful and this, and that. That's not how we are. Okay? We're a very loving people. Okay? For the ones that want to embrace the truth and whatever else, you know, our people have gone through so much crap and whatever else, and they still have loved you this whole time. We are, a very loving people. That's our nature as a people. You know? So, but it's like, but we do get our limits. We do get to our point where it's like, okay, look, I'm getting sick and tired of telling you the truth and you just acting like you don't hear me. You know, I said, I'm getting sick and tired of like making videos and nobody has an answer for anything. You act like y'all don't hear me when I know damn well you heard all this information. You see what I'm saying? Then it's kind of like, okay, I'm sick of dealing with you. I don't want to deal with you. I'm not going to deal with you no more. You know, the gig is up. You know, I said, so you've had plenty of time to hear this truth. I said, the Most High is going to, like I said, that video that Brother Abdullah Seer did about the, you know, the trees falling, being a sign. There's signs all over the place that your leadership and your reign is over with. And now, you know, comes your opportunity. Well, comes the judgment, and what you do, you know, whatever side you're on, you know, you had your opportunity to hear the truth, and now judgment is falling, and we'll see what happens. But it was great hanging out with the family. I'm gonna let you guys go. All praise is the Most High Yahweh. Acknowledgement to the earthly mother. Who is wisdom? Who is the Holy Spirit? Acknowledgement to Yahweh Shai. Shalom, family.